Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother and sister in faith, especially those who uphold truth and resist falsehood. Sorry to make you wait. I had some technical problem. I was waiting for my new mic. It took some time until I received it recently, and I was looking for a support to do some editing on this video because I'm going to share something. So let's start with the topic of the two ocean methodology, part 1, introduction. So I'm going to clarify some concepts before we go ahead and talk on the main part, which is the structure of the two ocean methodology. In that structure, I'm going to share with you a drawing, which I draw it. And before we go to that, we shall start with the concepts. So I'm gonna clarify 5 concepts. If someone asks you what is methodology or epistemology or something like paradigm or cognition, this 4 terminology, they're actually not 5, it's 4. We're gonna use when we handle the two ocean methodology. I'm gonna go through them, and you may get more deep understanding if you search on them. But I'm gonna try to explain it very simple way, so you can follow me when we talk about the structure of the two ocean methodology. So, what is methodology? Methodology is actually a systematic approach where you ensure when you do research or you do a process of like looking for knowledge, you do it in organized way, organized structure, and it has a logic sequence. So it's follow a logic sequence, and often you design it to achieve a particular object. Like if you try to solve a problem, you do it sometimes without consciousness. You do it like because you have experience, so you just do it to solve a problem. Or if you want to generate new knowledge, or if you want to improve something. So methodology is actually a package. It's not like an element. So whenever you hear methodology or method, it means that it's a systematic approach. It's a system that you actually apply. So let's go to the epistemology. What is epistemology? I will give you a very unusual definition for epistemology, because if you look for epistemology, you will find a lot of theories trying to define it. So I'm gonna do it with the two ocean method. So if someone asks you what is epistemology based on the two ocean method, it's actually an ocean of information, which either you acquire or receive through a specific method. So it's an information that exists in two oceans. That's what epistemology, according to the two ocean method. So what about paradigm? What is paradigm? Paradigm is a framework where you show your knowledge to someone or provide your knowledge to someone. So it's actually it could be a different framework you decide to work in, and then wherever you exist in that framework, actually some knowledge you giving to someone. So what about cognition or consciousness? It's a place where everything exists, where system, method, everything exists in it, and and it's your own workshop. So it's the place that you do your work, analyze and understand, so you can, with some sense, share the information to other. Yeah. So after telling you this 4 concepts that now you're aware about. So I'm going to talk about 4 questions mark, like when someone asks a question and he started with a how or why or what or when and where, each of them actually representing something or opening door for something. So whenever you hear how, you're actually opening a material world. So it's a place where a method like a scientific method can function very well and provide you answer. So how has to do with the ocean of material, and why has to do with the ocean of spiritual, or ocean of malakut, an ocean of shahid for how. So how has to do with ocean of shahid, which is material world or the natural world that we live in, and the other ocean has to do with why. And what actually is a combination of both to make a definition. So whenever someone asks you what is this, he actually trying to ask you what is the definition of this. So he's asking you a definition. So if we can give an example of how these two, how and why, exist in what, we can give an example that Sheikh Ibrahim Hussein told us about money. So if you search the definition of money, you will see that because we, in our time, we are following one-eyed methodology, which is basically scientific. So they will define it in some part of it. It look like the same as in a two ocean, but what in the core of that definition is actually the paradigm they work with, which is they don't actually have the understanding of the instructing value, as Sheikh Ibrahim Hussein said. Money should has value inside it, and they can, because they are using scientific, they can prove it in a way which is like to manipulate the human and redefine things to show it like to like achieve their objective, or what they aim to do actually, or what is like their own the end of their project like. So they try to manipulate you using the definition, but they try to make the interpretation of the definition look like more like has a logic sense according to the scientific method, which I think if you don't wake up yourself, you will just easily accept the definition, the way they define it. So this is an example how what can function. It's very important to combine both. If you take one of them, then you deceive. And the example we have is the money. How we have it right today is one of the examples. So what about when and where? When and where has to do with guidance. So whatever you want to ask someone about when and where, you're actually asking for guidance. And in our time, is eschatology is actually the one who answers when and where. So now, after telling all of this, I'm gonna move to the structure, which I'm gonna share with you, something new that you may never seen before, but hopefully you will recognize it somewhere. So I'm gonna start by telling you the structure of the two ocean methodology is horizontal, is not a vertical. And what I mean by horizontal, not vertical, I'm gonna share with you an ayah when Allah says in Surah Al-Kahf, when He addresses a knowledgeable man, you will see that Allah did many times, not only in Surah Al-Kahf, but in many other ayah, He start always with the word abd, abdan or abd, which means servant. He want to show you that there is no any distinguish between him and any other servant, in which that we see everyone in a horizontal line. So we don't like put someone, even if he has so much knowledge, we do not push him to be like elite. We don't have this elite level, even though it exists, but we don't have it. And Allah wants us to have it in such a structure, because that actually will allow us to apply the two ocean method in harmonically. So you will see, like Allah addresses in Surah Al-Kahf, ayah 65, He said, فَوَجَدَ عَبْدًا مِنْ عِبَادِنَا, a servant from among our ibad, that Allah gave him knowledge, or the two ocean method. So this is how the structure is. And the vertical structure exists now in our days, exists. And the symbol of that vertical structure is the pyramid with the one eye. So this pyramid with one eye is actually showing you the structure of how we should behave with each other, how we should handle each other in this vertical structure, which Allah doesn't want us to do. So there is a lot of ayah showing that the structure should be horizontal. Even when we do salah, you can see that everyone is as a straight line. Even the Prophet said in many hadith that ummati like misht, which is like a cam, straight line. So this is how we address this and behave to each other. So we have so much respect to each other. Even though we know that someone is more knowledgeable, we do respect. And at the same time, because of that mentality, he will do respect you in a very beautiful way, even though you have less knowledge. And this is what Allah exactly wants us to do in this dunya. So if we do that, we actually interrogate the both ocean harmonically without any conflict. But this is difficult today because we are being pushed to one-eye method, and it's been like we've been satellite, because we've been like our mind, our life, our way of life, our mind is full with this vertical structure. So it will be difficult for a lot of people to understand or become horizontal, even if we have the understanding. We're gonna talk about this more and more on the next part in more details. I just wanna give you the structure here. So this structure, the two ocean method, as I told you, horizontal, is based on a paradigm of the moral order. So the paradigm of this structure is a moral order. And it's obvious, you find the moral order exists in the Quran, many ayat in hadith. But I'm going to give you one hadith. I think that will be enough to understand how it's important to have this paradigm. And the hadith is from, it says as follows. The Prophet said, I have been sent to you to fulfill the moral order. In Arabic is إنما بعثت لأتمم مكارم الأخلاق, which means he's been sent to complete this mission, which is his like the final mission. So all the Prophet was doing that, but the Prophet Muhammad was doing it in the final level. Which is how important is this moral order. So let's talk about the structure. Now I'm gonna showing you on the screen. You will see the structure with a bunch of information. I have put some numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4 for some of them, and the others I haven't, because it's kind of a notation. So you will see like two different colors. You will see a blue light and a black. The blue light representing the ocean one from the spiritual realm or the spiritual world, or alam al-malakut. This is the alam where all this information that we share, some of it from al-wahi, from the books like Allah have sent it to us as a rahmah, from the Quran, sometimes from dreams, sometimes from inspiration. All of this exists on this ocean. And the black one representing the ocean 2, which is Alam al-Shahid, or the material realm, or the material world, where our material information that is so vast and that is not even ended. And Allah said at the beginning of the ayah is from Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 236, and ayah says, وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا بِأَيْدٍ وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ, which means that this information, material world, is continuing expanding. So going back to the structure, as you see, number 1 has to do with the ocean of spiritual. Number 2 has to do with the ocean of the material. So in the middle, you will see an arrow and an arrow with a straight line. With a straight line, and you will see a lot of curved lines in the both side. And you will see that the arrow begins with a starting point, which is born, which is actually representing your lifetime, and it's representing the two ocean methodology, because it's combining the two ocean in a straight line. And that's why Allah said in the Quran, وَإِنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ ذَلِكُمْ وَصَّاكُمْ بِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. This is how Allah told us, indeed, that is my path, perfectly straight, so follow it and do not follow any other ways, for they will lead you away from His way. This is what He has commanded you, so perhaps you will be conscious on Allah. And it's Surah Al-An'am, ayah 153. So this, we're telling you the line, and this line actually both representing your lifetime. We do have different lifetime, and it's the same time as the method that we should apply until we should hold on until we die. So you see the born and death in the end of the line, and the arrow represent that everyone will go to that state in the end. So all we share the same thing. So what is number 3 and 4? Number 3 talking about one-eye method over logic. I'm using a simple word, over logic. Some people used to say is instead of talking about over logic, they're talking about metaphysics information, or some talk about mythology. But I'm using over logic because it doesn't. You cannot apply like a scientific or a scientific approach, for example, on that information, so you can get knowledge. That's how it's over logic. So because logic has some definition and has some limitation and a process, how it's a system thing that you apply and get information. So you see the one eye exists in two realm, either in the spiritual one or on the material one. The one that the Prophet warned us is in the material world. And there is a lot of hadith that he warned us from the spiritual too. When he talked about the munajjimeen, those who do talk about like sihr, black magic, or talking about that tanjim means that they know your destiny through, if I can have a good English word for it, it's they determine your future through the stars and the planets. I don't know the right word, but there is a lot of people who believe in that, and they do have their own method and steps to do. Even the magic here exists actually in both, but I'm more focused on the magic that exists in the material world, because the magic is actually meant to separate these two oceans. That's the main thing. It's a manipulation. So it's actually separating the two oceans and allow you to stuck whether in the spiritual or on the material. And to remove that magic, you need to recover yourself morally and start to wake up. So, and it's very simple to remove the magic. It's not like that difficult. If you say "A'udhu billah min ash-shaytan rajim," this is the beginning of removing. And if you start to understand how important is the method that you approach knowledge for, or starting seeking the truth. This is like the beginning of the meditation or recovering yourself. So one eye method on the spiritual or on the malakut worlds or realm is not that difficult to refute. It's very simple because it's over logic. So if you talk with logic, then it's just gonna go away. But the other one is more close to us, and it has a lot of sense and it's logic. So it's easy to attract you, and it's powered by the shaitan. I'm talking about shaitan, ins. Ins and jinn both together, as Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Rahman. They are together on this like mission to make people, to deceive the people and try to make sure that they don't exist in any ocean except this ocean. And they put all the zina, which means they decorate and show you this is like something beautiful. And the future, even it's more beautiful if you follow the step and the method. So it's too powerful, and you can add more on that. The highest evil, which is Dajjal, he exists on that ocean, on the material ocean. But there is no any Dajjal on the spiritual ocean. So that's why the Prophet warned us about the Dajjal, which means this ocean, the material ocean, that we can be stuck if we don't be aware about him and try to avoid following him. Try to avoid following him, yeah. Or actually ban to be follower to him. So now the straight line, as I told you, is like the line that Allah asks us to hold, which is we can translate it as a two-ocean method. This is not exception for us, the follower of Nabi Muhammad, the follower of Nabi Isa, all the other people who follow the truth, they do have their other names, and they do have even more details, more details in how their method exists. We do have similar point, but it could be there is some differentiation, because Allah said in the Quran that everyone been given different Sharia. So which means that if we have different Sharia, we do have different interpretation, even though the method is the same. So it could be some different in the method. It could be, yeah. Like for example, we have the Jewish. They do have Kabbalah, which exists in this straight line. But I cannot talk about Kabbalah too much because I'm not expert. But I have some information I can share on the link on the comment section, some videos that you should listen, and you will understand what exactly I mean with that from their own rabbi. Yeah. So, and yeah, we're going back to the structure. So now we can see that every line, curved line in the both ocean, it's is actually led by Satan or Shaitan. Either could be a human or jinn or yourself. So it's the three shayateen actually. It's you, any other human, or jinn. So it's three. So that actually will attract you to continue in the wrong path. As you can see now, this is the version, the beginning of the structure of the two ocean, version O or 0. I have many other versions I'm gonna share, which has more details, and it will expand how this structure will look like in the end. So when we finish understanding the structure, we will start to apply it. We're gonna talk about a lot of example, and we will talk about how we can apply this structure. And definitely, I'm using again the two sources just to remind you: Sheikh Imran Hussein, all his work in eschatology, and Imam Al-Ghazali work, because actually from this two we can understand the implementation, as Sheikh Imran Hussein already have done, and the structure and the steps and the process, how it functions in this two ocean method from Imam Ghazali mostly. Yeah, and I will add a lot of useful other resources definitely on the coming videos. So coming to end, I have a question for you. If you recognize this drawing, I want you, if you recognize it, if you know who did it in the first hand, like who did this draw in the first time. So I want you, it's definitely not me. I want you to write the answer on the comment. If you know or you can find this on the internet, I want you to write your answer on the comment. I will check that on the comment section. And after 1 week from the date of releasing this video, I will write the answer, inshallah. وجزاكم الله خير, and see you in the next video, inshallah.